Alright guys, welcome back. As we know, fall is quickly approaching. That means it's stone crab season. As you can see behind me, we have several hundred plastic stone crab traps that are going to be available for sale to the public. We'll be pouring these this weekend. Once they're poured, they'll be ready for sale probably early next week. As you can see, I got this set up right now. We're gonna build a trap. I'm gonna show you guys how to build a trap. The traps come unassembled in a box, 5 per box. Everything you need to assemble the traps are here. The hatches, the latches, the hinges, the tops, the sides, the fronts, and the back. Today I'm gonna assemble a trap the proper way and show you guys how to pour it. And once we get to the mixing of the concrete, I'll show you just how easy it is to build your own traps. It'll save you a lot of money in the long run. All right, so we're going to start with what comes in the box. You're going to get 5 pieces. These are the trap lids. We're going to assemble one right now. I'm going to show you how easy it is. This piece right here that has the square pieces on the top, this is your front or back. You have 2 different kinds of sides. One with no holes cut out of it, which we're going to put a hole in this. It's required this year by law that you have a coal ring in there, and I'm going to show you how to do that. The other side has a hole right here that we're going to screw a biodegradable chew out. In the event that you get cut off and this stays on the bottom, the crabs can easily get to this. Over time, they'll break that and they'll have a way to get out, the larger crabs. The coal ring is going to go on this side right here. I'm going to show you exactly where to put it. It's going to go right in here approximately. I'm going to have to drill a hole right there so that the smaller crabs can get out of this. It's for, conservation. The little guys in there can escape before the big guys pick on them and try to eat them. This is also part of the kit. You've got enough of, these are the latches that close the lid, and these are the hinges that allow the lid to open up. This is the funnel. This is going to go in the top of the trap, just like that. And once I start putting the screws in, you'll see this is how the crabs enter the trap, looking for the bait, and then they can't get out. Stone crabs cannot swim, so they can't swim back up through this hole. Your calico crabs and your smaller blue crabs, if they can figure it out, they can swim out of this and get out. We use 1/2-inch screws for this coal ring, and then we're going to use 3/4 screws on everything else to assemble the trap. Basically, the only thing you need is a couple of drills. You can use it with one. We're using 2 just to make it easy. I've got one that I'm going to use to do all the screws. And then I've got this hole saw right here that I'm going to use to put the coal ring in it. On this table right now, I have a full trap completely disassembled. Once again, you got your 2 latches, your 2 hinges, your biodegradable chew out. I have my front and my back. I have my 2 sides, and I have my lid and my funnel. To put the chew out in, all you do is you take the piece of wood, hold it in place, turn it upside down like this. You can see there's pre-drilled holes right there and there. Once again, this is a biodegradable chew out. You cannot use pressure treated wood. This is just 1x2 pine for inch strips. I have that assembled, put that aside. This is considered the bottom of the trap. And on every side, it's going to be this little channel. You're going to fill the concrete up to that dimension. The new rules stipulate that this coal ring has to be in the lower half of the trap. We decided to put ours opposite of the chew out. We sell all of these here. So anybody that has old traps from last year, we have plenty of these to retrofit your trap. I'm going to get an approximate location. Easy peasy. There you go. There's the hole. It doesn't matter which way you start them. Like I said, it's all tongue and groove. As long as you have these pieces right there towards each other on the bottom, you'll see this goes right in. There's one side. That's one front. Yeah, the squares are always going to be on the top. All right. Now we'll go ahead and put our last side on. Get one started. Get the other side started. And just push it down. Now, as you can see, the wide piece right here is on the bottom all the way around. If you have one of those on the top, you put one of the sides or the front or the back upside down. Now, we're going to take it to the lid. You can see these pieces right here are for your hinges. I'll turn this way. Everything's pre-drilled. You got pre-drilled holes here for your funnel. and for your hinges. The way I like to do them is I like to put them on first, get them started. Just push it in. Now that's done. Now let's go back to the funnel. For the traps, when you buy them, we give you enough screws to do all 5 traps. Now your funnel's installed. Last but not least, we're going to do the latches that keep the lid from opening. Now this is kind of important right here. You don't want to put this latch too close to this square piece because when you try to open it, it won't open. So what I like to do is I like to just bring it over like 1/4 of an inch, you know, just get it away far enough where the latch can freely spin back and forth. Voila. Now the lid will not come open. Put these over, the lid will open, and you can get in to get the crabs. Now, what we normally do is we do, as you can see behind us, several hundred traps. We get a pump truck in here and we're gonna pour these all off at one time. It takes about 2 or 3 hours to do all these traps. If you're doing 5 of them in your backyard, it shouldn't take any more than 2 hours max. I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way here in a minute. We're gonna mix up some concrete. A 60-pound pack of concrete will do approximately 2.5 traps. So you're gonna need 2 bags of concrete to do 5 traps, and you probably have a little bit left over. Or you could just pour 1 or 2 of them heavier than the others. When you get ready to pour them, and once I set them down, I'll show you guys, it's very important not to go over this lip right here. All right, you don't want to cover up that piece right there. It's not going to make a difference. It's just going to make it very heavy. The trap will be like 40 to 50 pounds. You pour it to that right there. We're going to put it on some Visqueen. Don't put it on your concrete or you're going to have permanent traps on your driveway. So you want to make sure you have some plastic on the bottom, or, you know, where you're going to pour them. Once the concrete sets, it's going to do 2 things. It's going to close the trap in so nothing can escape, and it's going to give you the weight you need for this trap to sink to the bottom. It's real important that if you're going to put these traps offshore, I recommend that you do 15 feet of scope. So if you're in 30 feet of water, you want 45 feet of line. 5 feet of it to tie your trap on, and then gives you 10 feet of scope. If we get a big cold front, you want to make sure that you don't have tension on your buoy, because that little 6-inch buoy will walk this trap 2 or 3 miles in a heavy cold front. Very important. You have to mark that. That's the trap by law. You'll get your number from the FWC. What I found, the easiest way to do it on the plastic traps is a Dremel tool. This identifies this trap as my trap. It's required by law, so make sure you do that. However you want to get your information on there is up to you, but the Dremel tool is the easiest way to do it. You just scribe it in there with your trap number. Okay, also included in the trap kit, it comes with a 6-inch styrofoam float, 30 feet of polypropylene float line, and a lead to attach to the line. The lead's very important because the float brings the rope up to the surface, and then this rope floats. So if you have a slack tide, 4, 5, 6, 7 feet of this may be up on the surface. When a boat goes by your float, they're going to try to avoid it. And if your rope's setting up on the surface floating, it'll get cut off by the propeller. So what we do is we take this lead weight right here, and we're going to take it down the line from where the buoy terminates about 6 to 8 feet. Do a knot, slide this down to it, and it'll keep that line straight up and down under the buoy. And it'll save your trap, because most boaters know what these are. They try to avoid them because they don't want to get the rope tied up in their propeller, and this will help do that. Very important to put this on each trap line. There's all kinds of different ways to attach them. I recommend always putting it in a corner, preferably the back. You can make bridles for them. That's what the commercial guys do, but it takes more rope, about 10 more feet of rope to do it. But you know, just put you put whatever knot, a bowline knot, a nail knot, whatever knot your preferred method of tying, and tie it into the corner so that when you get ready to pull it up, it'll pull, and it's got 2 different points right here that are reinforced instead of just pulling it from like one in the center, or wherever you decide to attach it. All right, now we're going to mix some concrete. Got a 60-pound bag of concrete. I just put a little bit in because I'm trying to make enough for just one trap. So you just put the water in slowly, start mixing it up. Once you get the mix the way you want it, You can just take it, I'm gonna, just for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna take it right out of the wheelbarrow, right into the trap. And once again, you notice I've got black visqueen down. That's gonna prevent this thing from sticking to the concrete. Just start filling in the bottom of the trap and I'll get it all smoothed out. It's a lot easier to work with when it's like this. Take a trowel and I'll start moving it to all the corners. And the goal is to get it up on that lip. You want to make sure you're on a nice level surface too. So when it sets straight in here. Let it set overnight. Usually in a day it's ready to go. And then you can do everything you need to get them ready for the upcoming season. Okay, at this point we're done with the trap. Now it's just time. We got to let it set and let it cure, let the concrete set up. Now the regulations state that you have to have your name, your address, and your Florida stone crab endorsement. It's in your fishing license online. What we recommend is Dremel your name and address in here, and then you could probably put your endorsement number there. Earlier on the buoy, you also have to have an R, 3 inches tall on the buoy in black. I recommend using a permanent marker. Never use oil-based paint because it'll melt the styrofoam. So, in closing, I wanted to just mention, we have all the supplies necessary. You can go to fishoneStop.com. We sell this as a kit, 5 traps, 5 buoys, the line you need, the lead you need. As you can see over here, we have several hundred traps that are unassembled, ready to ship. We can ship anywhere in the continental United States. Just visit the website for more information. We also sell bait for the trap when the trap season starts. We sell pig's feet. We sell all kinds of mackerel, mullet. When the water's hot, you want to use the pig's feet. It lasts the longest. If you go to fish right off the bat, the bait's gone in 1 day. All the little microbes and critters will get in there and they'll eat it up really quick. The last thing that I'd like to mention is make sure you go and look at the regulations. I can't stress that enough. You have to get the crab endorsement. It's right on your fishing license. It's in the app. Look it up. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. They send it to you immediately, and then you have your number to put on the traps. So come on by and check us out. We got plenty of stuff.